morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is 12/12, December 12th, 2018. And we want to shout out freedomofthecreatum.com like a Jean-Elie should always. And basically, this is the intro to our video, and it's about our journey in regards to the injustice that we've been dealing with North Miami, state of Florida, and state actors. So what you're going to see in the video is that my brother, the story about my brother following this young gentleman, what's his name? Jamison Perellis. And he had been assaulted by the North Miami police, and eventually my brother was arrested by the same officers for allegedly stealing his own bicycle, for which he spent a few days in jail.
27 days.
27 days in jail. And then the charges got dropped for that. And then he went back in again. I went in. And you're gonna, all of these things are going to be explained to you. And while you watch this, I want you to ask yourself these following questions. Do we have the right to be left alone? Do we have the right to question our accusers? Do we have the right to be free? And is everybody's time worth money? These are just some of the things that we really should be asking ourselves while you watch the video. And if you don't know you have a right, do you have that right? If you don't exercise that right, do you have that right? Yeah, so.
And like I said, I'm always gonna scream out freedomofthecreatum.com like a Jean-Elie should. I'm Emmanuel Michael Charlemagne, AKA King of the Moment, King of the Present, and King of the Near Future. Like my brother said, you gotta really ask yourself certain questions. We're in Miami, Florida, and the temperature is changing. And on this day, it's a little bit chillier than most. But I would tell everyone, do not wait for your rights to be taken away from you, to feel the frigid realization that we may not be free. I gotta really ask yourself, and I gotta ask myself, am I really free in the United States of America? That says that you have the right to pursue the happiness, the right of happiness, the right of free travel, the right of understanding what is happening to you in the present moment. The main question I want to ask everyone is this: can you feel the temperature of the moment? Are we going to a place that's warmer, or are we going to a place that's colder? I really like the warmth. And I like to really be prepared for the cold when the cold comes, with the layers of the protection of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence and the right to be free. Like, I'm really not in the position to let other people tell me what I can and cannot do if I didn't do anything wrong. So as you watch this video, just take your time to just look throughout the whole video. It's a little lengthy, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. We have to really question the people that say that they have our best interests at hand. Our politicians, our judicial system, and the whole system that runs this country. Because we are the leaders of the world for some reason, as everyone says, because of the Constitution. Because we have rights and regulations that our government officials have to follow. And they're not following it. So ask yourself this question: how many American citizens are going through what me and my brother went through? From the beginning of this country to the present moment. How many people have been mistreated, having to fight for their lives? I got a trip plan, a vacation plan that is long overdue, and my brother can't come. The source of income to make revenue, to make our dreams come true, is being hindered. And I wake up feeling like today's a new day, but then I have this jacket of mine that's stained with 7 arrests in the last 7 years. Like, I truly believe that there is a dream out there for me and my family, but it's hard to remember those dreams if I don't got the blanket and the cover of the Constitution around me, making sure that I'm good and protected, so I can manifest the vision that I have for myself. I'm gonna tell everyone I'm exhausted of being in the cold. I'm exhausted in being in the illusion of thinking that I have rights. I know I have rights. I'm not stuck in that place of thinking I have rights or hoping I have rights. No, we have rights. And we have to stand up together and make sure that we protect each other in these courtrooms. Ask yourself this question: is the judge supposed to be prosecuting me or the prosecutor? Ask this question: is the public defender supposed to be protecting me or helping the prosecutor? At no point in time did any of the public defender really object to what the prosecutor was doing. I think one time Arlen Page said these charges were frivolous in another case that I gone through. They don't stand on their, how can I say this, on the ethics of making sure that what they say they're gonna do, they're gonna do. I had 5 officers arrest me that day. Not one cop said, you know what we're doing is wrong. I've been through the judicial system 7 times. I've been through jail 7 times. At no point in time did I think or hear any correctional officer say, this guy's in jail for what? Stealing his own bike? I understand everyone has something to work for and they have their own lives. But I guarantee you this, if our lives don't collide together so we protect each other, it's gonna be very hard for you to get to where you wanna be. Everyone's trying to stretch that mighty dollar to get to where they wanna get to. But it's hard to stretch it when it's getting taken out of your pocket and line other people's pockets that already have enough to live that dream. So, once again, everyone, it's Emmanuel Michael Charlemagne, Jean-Elie Charlemagne, looking at you in the camera, telling you it doesn't always have to be this cold in a warm environment. Let's put on our winter jackets of the Constitution, of due process, freedom of speech, so we can really smile and a genuine smile, not fake it. When we're really partying and we're really having fun, through the fact that we got something done. And getting something done doesn't mean just going to work and getting mistreated by our politicians and the system that's supposed to protect us.
So I want everybody to really, really focus that this is not about just a bicycle. It's not about being accused of stealing your own bicycle, although that's an element of it. What it's really about is the injustice that is being done to not just my family and I, but others that don't even know how to defend themselves, others that are ignorant to their rights. And it's really because of the collective ignorance and because of our derelict of duty as American to oversee our judicial system to make sure that it's fair and right. How many of us try to dodge jury duty? How many of us dodge our civic duties as a whole? And this is what this is what that action produces. It produces injustice, inequities within the system. And so questions, again, these questions I want you to think about while you watch this documentary, while you watch this show. There's gonna be others to come after, which is, the questions are, do I have the right to be left alone by the cops? And that means traffic tickets. That means inspections of any kind. When we buy other products, do we have to get them licensed by the states before we can use them? And where does that money go? We're already getting taxed to pay these people their salaries, and then when we get arrested, we have to pay surcharges, we have to pay court fees. Like, where all this money goes? And then they say they don't have money, they have to do budget cuts. So, and it seems to me that the only people that seems to be able to have their day in court are people that have money to prosecute their cases. Speaking of which, I want to thank everyone that supported me and my family while E was in jail, that looked out with the GoFundMe account. Thank you very much, and I look forward to giving back after these cases are done. I really do look forward to helping others, and that's pretty much what I have to say. But I also want you, real quick, I want you to do is pay attention to the body language of these judges, the prosecutors, when I'm in court, when E and I are in court, and you'll see them hiding. You'll see them. You'll see the devious nature in them in the entire process, especially Scott Bernstein,
Stacy Glick,
oh, well,
Sarah Zabel.
Sarah Zabel, you'll see, but Stacy
Mary
Glick, I
Jo
don't think
Francis.
Yeah, so
Diane Ward. It's very funny, I remember their names.
give them shout outs.
Give them total shout outs. But before I give them shout outs, I want to shout out everybody from Plattsburgh, Beatmantown, Paul Smith, Canton, New York, CW Post, Brookfield, Long Island, St. Albans, Queens, Jamaica, Queens, North Miami, Texas, Seattle, Boston, Dominican Republic, Haiti, and Montreal, and all the places I've ever been. It's a beautiful day. Even though it's a little chilly, it might be in the 50s, it's still a beautiful day. We're still screaming out freedomofcream.com.
Like a Geo oughta should.
And loving it. But like I said, let's get together, let's unite.
Sean, I've never in my career as a prosecutor seen anything like this. My job is also to protect the rights of the accused as a prosecutor, and a criminal murder defendant in a courtroom charged with murder would be treated
Your Honor,
And they're on the resisting. What happened to the resisting?
that guy, remember we set bonds? Are you talking about Mr.
Excuse me.
I want you to address me. You are his brother.
Yes, I am.
And why did you come to? I know you've been here all day, and we're all a little tired. I want you to tell me why you came.
At this time I laughed. I was like, okay. He goes, we're gonna get you for grand theft in the 3rd degree and disorderly conduct. And then he's like, ask me where I got the bike. I'm like, you stealing the bike? I ain't telling you nothing.
And you got proof of the purchase?
Yeah, I got proof of the purchase.
Where you buy the bike?
Big Wheels on
Where is that
163rd. 163rd and then 163rd by McDuff's. So I wasn't gonna tell you anything. I was gonna be like, you want to dig a deeper hole?
And you told him about the receipts and everything?
I didn't.
You didn't have to, right?
I don't have to.
It's not your.
It's not my job to prove my innocence, and I didn't steal my bike. So why would I even divulge information? Exactly. He's detaining me. I didn't want to say nothing. I didn't want to sit down. He's like, have a seat.
I mean, your stuff was already getting dirty,
Yeah.
right? Like right here.
Yeah. He told me have a seat, so I sat down like this. As I'm talking to him, I was annoyed, answered his questions to a certain extent. Then after like about an hour of going back and forth, just jawing at each other, he's like, I'm gonna get you for grand theft in the 3rd degree and disorderly conduct and disturbing the peace and obstruction of justice. So I'm like, and then like about an hour into it, he's like, well, I'm gonna let you go, but I'm keeping the bike. I was like, you're not keeping my bike. You either get me for grand theft in the 3rd degree and all that nonsense you said, or you let me go with my bike. He's like, well, I'm not letting you go with your bike. So I was like, yeah, you gotta do it, I'm taking my bike. He's like, all right, I'm getting you for grand theft. And he came, handcuffed me, brought me to North Miami Police Station, and I got escorted to TGK, I think, or the county. That's what happened on May 22nd, 2015 in North Miami.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? Yep, I am the salesman who sold his brother the bike, and yeah, just filled with joy as soon as he purchased it, and very lovely and wholesome guy. Every single time he comes in here, everybody knows him, and great guy to be around, absolutely. And yeah, no, I sold him the bike. It's legit, guaranteed.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jean-Elie. I'm making this video in testimonial for my brother. Today is May 22nd, 2015, and this morning I went to my dentist appointment. My brother was supposed to bring me the money to pay for the dental appointment. He did not make it. Come to find out later on in the day, when after looking for him for quite a considerable amount of time, I found out that he's been arrested by Miami-Dade police. Apparently, he's been arrested for disorderly conduct and grand theft. Apparently, they believe that he stole the bike that he was on. I will show with documentation that is his bike. Therefore, you know, there was no reason to put his hands on him. And this is a continuous battle that we've had with Miami-Dade and the state of Florida. They pretty much, it's a judicial dictatorship. They are harassing my family and I and friends, and we need this to stop. And I'm going to make a connection with all this within documentation. Therefore, I intend to go to his bond hearing tomorrow, May 23rd, 2015 at noon, and basically try to find out what exactly is going on, because I do not understand the charges, and I do not expect to get beaten up, arrested, or harassed, or intimidated in any way, shape, or form by public servants. This video is for my protection and to make the record. I do not intend to be violent, but I do intend to be very assertive and getting responsive answers from these people. Okay? I've called some friends and I've let them know what my intentions are. And I am a non-violent individual. I do believe that rights should not be trespassed upon unless the due process of law. And this is my attempt to discovery to find out what is going on. My mom is extremely stressed out about this. She's inside. I told her about this, and she's extremely worried for my brother. So are my friends, and I've had situations like this happen in the past, again, which it was all documented, and I will show that for them and on the record. Okay, and that is it for now.
It is May 23rd, 2015, and I am in front of Mary Jo Francis for stealing my own bike and disrupting cops from arresting someone else, which did not happen. So at this point in time, she's looking through some paperwork. I don't see myself coming up yet. She's swearing everyone in.
Cell phones turned off, no talking in the courtroom. You see your family members or friends step in front of the podium. Please do not discuss the case unless authorized by the judge. It's just first appearance. Good afternoon, corrections. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you have them all stand and raise your right hand, please, to be sworn in, please? Good afternoon. Do you swear and affirm testimonies you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? State I do.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Thank you. Please proceed. If I can have the state and the PD, please announce their presence, please. Situation on behalf of the state.
Jennifer Davidson on behalf of the state.
Auden Page, Assistant Public Defender.
Jameson, Douglas. On May 22nd, I got arrested. During the arrest, before the officer had a chance to put the cuffs on me, I was running away, and then before he even put the cuffs on me, the officer came and kicked me in my face. And during the arrest, I didn't see nobody push anybody. So really, my address address is 19535 Northwest 24th Street.
What's your phone number?
305-653-8808.
Okay. Now let me ask you this: when you were on the ground, right? Was your hand behind your back when you got kicked?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you see Emmanuel, the general? Did you see anybody stop and view you? Stop and pay attention to what the cops were doing to you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody was on the other side doing the arrest. Everybody, the whole street had stopped. And for me, like just watching like everything go down.
Okay. And was there anybody stopping the cops doing what they were doing to you? No? They were just standing there watching. So nobody's impeded the cops in any way? Okay. At any time did a cop put his foot on your head?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what else was I thinking about? Now, do you know any of the people that were watching you get beat up? All right. Now, did you see anybody get harassed by the cops other than you after your arrest?
After my arrest, yes, really. The witness that was standing there, like really, he was there. But at the same time, he wasn't harassing, he wasn't pushing the cops. He was just giving a statement stating that he wasn't with me at the time. Like whatever his case is, maybe, but he wasn't with me at the time. When my thing went down, we just saw the fact that the police had kicked me in my face.
Okay. And now, did he get arrested?
Yes.
Did you see the cops harassing him? Because do you think the cops were harassing him because he was watching, he was a witness for you?
Yes, I think so. That may be the case.
How many cops were there on the scene?
I don't recall.
About.
Like 3 or 4, I'm not sure.
Okay. You just remember 3 or 4. You were on the ground. Was there a lot of cop cars?
No.
There was? Okay. All right. Do you remember the arresting officer that arrested you?
No.
No? Okay. All right. Was your case dropped?
Yeah.
Okay. What was the charges that you had?
Petty theft. Resisting arrest without violence. That's it, really. And obstruction of a work site, something like that.
Obstruction of what?
Work site.
Website? Work site? Okay. So they kicked you in your face for obstruction of a work site and petty theft and resisting arrest without violence. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what would you like to say on behalf of everything that happened? How did that make you feel?
I felt hurt. Now that I'm out here, I don't really know what else.
Speak your mind, brother.
They left me with no choice but to be out here now.
And you got cops kicking you in your face.
Yeah. Now I feel like they're really harassing me. Because everywhere I go, everywhere I turn, like they feel like they can just be there. Like they just harassing me for no reason.
When you see cops, do you feel safe?
Hell no. Not at all. Knowing that I'm trying to get right, in my mind I'm trying to get right, but they don't think they're saying, they just keep watching me, hoping that I'm gonna do something bad. But I'm not. Really, I'm out here trying to better myself. You know, it's not easy. I'm not saying that it's easy, but really, day by day, I get to see day by day, I'm trying to better myself.
Now, were you happy that somebody was watching that day? Do you feel like something worse could have happened?
Of course, something worse could have happened. Man, say he was taking out a taser. It could have been even worse. What if he would have got really upset? He would have taken out something worse than that. You know?
What do you mean by that when you say that?
Like, you know how officers get when they get upset. Say he had a taser on him. I don't know. My back was first towards you. For me, you could have had a gun. Could have had your gun out. I don't know. I was just trying to get away from you. That's it, really.
Well, I'm sorry that I'm really, really sorry that this happened to you. This video is gonna go as evidence. Did I coerce you into giving this video? Did I force you? Did you volunteer this? Okay. And is it okay that we use this as evidence in my brother's case?
Of course.
Okay. All right. And can I put this on my website on freedomofthecreedom.com?
Of course.
All right. Thank you very much, Jameson. And I'm sorry that this happened to you. And we're going to see to it that people see this video. Thank you. Peace.
The next case is Jameson Parvilis. I thought we had him this morning too, but
I think we did. We definitely did.
You took care of it this morning. You gave him.
This is Jameson Parvilis. He was the one that ran by me, and as he ran by me, I was watching him be chased by the cops, and I, for some reason, was drawn to just follow him. And then he got arrested for what I can recall of trespassing and petty theft and obstruction of a work site. I didn't know that at the time, so I was just following him just to see what was going on with him and the cops and why the cops were chasing him. It just felt like a movie when he ran by me, so I just proceeded to keep following him. Like I told you in the other videos, when he got detained by the cops, it was several cops. I could recall maybe like around anywhere between 7 to 12 cops. I think there was like around 10 of them giving him the business and hitting him and punching him and then putting his foot on top of his head after they had him arrested. We're going through the docket. I'm right after this individual.
reset to 524 for PC hearing at state's request.
Tomorrow?
Okay.
Then, Your Honor, I do.
And they're
have-
on their.
We're in another room, so we can't hear what the other people go through. They kind of bring us into this little booth. And this is me. I don't think I'm nervous by this time. I already been in front of the judges a few times. I was more annoyed and upset, and I was just trying to keep myself calm and relaxed so I could hear and not testify to what she wanted me to testify to, and just deal with the situation at hand. So this is close to my fourth or fifth time in front of a judge, 2 in front of a bond hearing judge. So I'm just waiting to see what's happening, what's presiding over the case. I think my brother's coming up real soon.
Resisting. What happened to the resisting?
That guy, remember we set bonds? Are you talking about Mr.
Excuse me, I'm here on for this gentleman here.
Oh,
This is my
okay,
brother.
good.
What's up, B?
What is his name?
Charlemagne?
I'm still in the
I'm here.
case before that. Okay,
Hey,
give
hold on,
me
Neats. They're
one
dealing with the
second.
case before that. Hold on.
I see, it's a separate case. Okay,
Your Honor, I do have probable cause.
thank you for coming.
Excuse me. I'll deal
This
with
is a disorderly conduct, obstruction, and a grand theft.
it. No, I'm not telling her what to do. I'm telling her about this case. I'm the executor in this case, and I'm here to deal with the case number, police case number 201517729, case number F1501063-9. I've been here all day, and I'm going to deal
You
with this.
have. I'm sure your brother appreciates that.
Yes.
Very much so, and I would also like to let you know that I'm here in special appearance. I'm here in special appearance, not general or voluntary, demanding all my rights under the U.S. Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, international common law. For inmate number 1515334, I would like to make sure that before you go proceed any further on, that you will protect my constitutional right of the 5th Amendment and the 6th Amendment of due process. And that's the right to remain silent, and that's the right of due process. And I also would like to know if I'm eligible for if I'm eligible for release on my own recognizance.
I'm a taxpayer.
Look,
You be
hold
quiet.
on.
Do you have a claim in this case?
I would like
Okay,
to.
so be quiet. I'm trying to address this
And I
issue.
also
I'm trying to get this line out of being there in special appearance, not general, not voluntary, claiming all my rights under the U.S. Constitution for the inmate number that I said on the screen. I was having a hard time speaking that day for some reason. It just seemed like my brain wasn't really working the way it needed to. Like I always tell people, when you're in front of these judges, I think there's a kind of sorcery magic that they use to make you that you can't speak. So I don't know how much truth there is to that, but I always felt that way every time I was in front of a judge, that I couldn't speak the way I normally spoke when I was out in the public. So supposedly, I remember my brother coming up. Here he is.
Yeah, so I come in the courtroom, and I had been waiting for a while. I was there from like 10 something in the morning to like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And I come in, and when my brother's case comes up, I tell the public defender that I was the executor and that she didn't need to really do anything and that I was going to address the issue. The bailiff tells me to not to tell her, like, not basically asking me if I'm telling her how to do her job. I said no. Now he's telling me to be quiet and all this nonsense. And I asked him if he had a claim in the matter. So, and he said, and if I remember correctly, he said yes. And I was just shocked. I'm like, really? What kind of courtroom is this? You know? And now you see the bailiff or you see the corrections going to get backup. Mind you, I'm not threatening anybody. I'm just addressing the issue. It's very similar to what had happened prior. I'm shining light on the scam. And it's all a racket. All these people are eating, getting fat off tax dollar dimes. And they don't provide any value to our society. They don't solve any problems. Well, maybe they solve some, but for the most part, they are the problem. They're literally sucking the people dry of their substance, their financial resources. And so again, it's hard for me knowing this stuff to go in there and act as if I don't know this is what they're doing. So I'm basically telling the judge or the administrator that there isn't a valid claim. There's no injury to anybody other than my brother. And so she sits back on her chair as if she's the one being harmed, while she's supposed to be serving the American people. And I find this absolutely disgusting. I can't even conceptualize what is going through their minds that they're doing this, and people would allow this to be happening. So
it pretty much boils down to this: we can't think the way they think. We can't think for them, and we can't have their best interests at hand. We can't get along. We can't go along to get along. We got to make sure that our interests and our rights and our claims are protected and seen through. Like my brother is saying, he's trying to get order and understanding of the case that's in front of him, because he didn't necessarily knew what happened to me the day before. He just knew that I got arrested for grand theft and disorderly conduct. And he knows that I didn't steal my bike. I know I didn't steal my bike. She's not wanting to let me go on R&R. She wants me to pay a bond. Then after that, not paying the bond, she wants me to be released on pre-trial, where they can control my whereabouts and what I do and what I can and cannot do.
Like,
all right.
I also would like the prosecutor.
Mr.
I also would like the prosecutor.
Mr. Charlemagne.
I would also like the prosecutor.
Mr. Charlemagne.
I also would like the prosecutor.
Let her talk.
Please stop talking.
Relax. Let her talk. Let her talk.
Well, this part of the video, she tells my brother to be quiet and almost like shushing him, I don't know if you saw when she put her finger in front of her mouth, basically telling my brother to be quiet. And she's turning all of her attention and focus on me because I am hitting with her too much substance, too much truth. And that makes her have to do her job in correlations to the Constitution, in correlations to the Bill of Rights, and making sure that my brother's rights to due process aren't violated. Now, this is not something she's accustomed to doing when the individual gets before her. She's just used to making sure that the person goes to jail and has to pay some type of fee or be on some type of observation through the state, where the state is making some type of revenue. And I'm completely aware and prepared, and the MO is to now ask me what my name is, and once you give your name, your conceding to their jurisdiction. And jurisdiction is another way of saying control or authority. And I'm not giving her jurisdiction, and I'm continuing to make sure that she is doing her job by asking questions. So she wants me to state my name on the record, and I'm asking her for her name, and she won't give her name. Now pay close attention to every time I'm giving combos to the judge for her to establish that they have jurisdiction or that the elements were proven. You'll see the bailiff interject and trying to give cover. And as they do that, watch her put her head down as a sigh of relief, like, phew, thank you for bailing me out. I mean, get this guy out of here. Inside, I am totally disgusted. I'm mad that this is going on and how many others have gone before her or other judges like this. And they just, again, like I keep reiterating this, that they take the substance out of people as far as their finances. You'll be minding your own business, and next thing you know, you find yourself in front of a judge out of nowhere. You didn't do anything. You keep saying you didn't do anything, but they just continue as if you're guilty. This is about the time too also when you'll see the bailiffs come in and basically tell me to leave after a while because too much light is being shined, and they don't want the other people, family that are watching this to get any ideas to do the same thing, and they want everybody in the dark. Another thing I wanted to mention is she starts off by asking me why am I here and if I wanted my brother to be treated as if my brother has some type of illness. She's the one that has a mental illness. How are you going to bring someone and arrest them for stealing their own bikes, and they're telling you that basically that you don't even have jurisdiction with, and that's your profession, and she is going against the rules that she's supposed to be following, and she doesn't want to follow it and then turn it around as if we're the ones that are crazy because we're following the rules. So yeah, I just found it really perplexing that she would even insinuate that I would want my brother to be treated.
All right, I want you to address me. You are his brother?
Yes, I am.
And why did you come to, I know you've been here all day and we're all a little tired. I want you to tell me why you came, whether you were speaking on his behalf because you want him released, or whether you're speaking on his behalf because you want him to get treatment, or whether you, just why you're here.
I'm here in support of my brother.
Okay.
1, 2, there is no corporate selecti in this matter, and I'm not here to testify or to argue the facts of this case. He needs to be released immediately. Otherwise, there will be trespass on his rights, and I will embarrass the court in state, federal court, and otherwise. I'm not here to be violent. I'm not here to be arrested or intimidated in any fashion or disorderly conduct or otherwise.
Does he qualify for pretrial release?
He does qualify for pretrial services.
Huh?
And as to
He does, yeah.
the grand theft, there is no value. And I don't really
I think a bicycle, isn't a bicycle one of the enumerated items?
For grand theft?
I think so.
I don't know if it's one
Does
of
the state know?
We'll check the statute.
Okay.
Excuse me, administrator.
He qualifies for
Excuse me, administrator.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, administrator.
I'm sorry.
Stop.
You must be quiet.
Let
You're
her
about
talk.
to be
Let her
released,
talk.
but if you keep talking, you're not going to be released. Do you understand that? If you're unable to comply with a court order telling you to not talk, you're going to be held. If you can stay quiet, you are going to be released. Do you understand that?
I'm not signing any papers.
Okay.
Administrator.
$5,000 bond on the grand theft and $1,000 bond on the disorderly conduct.
Pretty much upset the fact that I keep talking when she doesn't want me to talk, so she's trying to quiet me down.
At this point in the video, folks, she's trying to basically get my brother to sign a document to have him on pretrial, like my brother was saying, to control his whereabouts. Keep in mind that my brother was a free man prior to him being in front of her. So how, and mind you, my brother didn't do anything wrong. So how is he going to go from being a free man to now he's being regulated and controlled as to his whereabouts? As to he's got to answer to somebody. No, these people work for us. We don't work for them. The only time your rights should be trespassed against on is through due process. She was not giving my brother his due process rights, none of which. And every time we've asked questions in the process of discovery, we're being told to be quiet and we're being harassed. And so again, and it's from the cops all the way to the judges. Everybody's concentrating on the cops, but they neglect to keep attention on the judges and the prosecutors that give the cops cover for what they're doing. Excuse me, Administrator. I'm trying to tell the court that there is no claim, there is no valid claim. There, you don't have personal jurisdiction, nor we don't even understand the charges in this case. There's a lot of proof that's going to come out, and then you're going to have to dismiss this case. I guarantee you that. I know it's not. I know.
Mr. Charlemagne, Mr. Emmanuel Charlemagne. Shh. What is your name? Your first name?
I'm here under special appearance for my brother.
What's your name, though?
What is your name? I can't see your name. I can't see your name. What is your name?
It says it right there.
Oh, do you have a claim? Are you part of this matter? Are you a part of this matter? Are you a part of this case? You are. So you have a claim in this case.
What is your name?
I am here to address, again, let the courts reflect. Let the courts reflect that I'm here to.
You need to leave. You got a bond, that's it. We can't keep going on with this. We got other cases.
If you would sign,
on it for the record, can I please?
If Mr.
Can I
Charlemagne
please
would,
get your name on it for the record?
Mr. Charlemagne, if your brother would sign the paperwork for pretrial release, he'll be released today.
No, I need to be released on my own recognizance.
If you would sign the paperwork for pretrial release, they'll monitor your release and you can be released
Here's
today.
the counteroffer, Your Honor. Here's your counteroffer.
There's no counteroffer.
Yes, there is, and this is it. He's willing to give you his exemption for the bond. Otherwise, he's not signing anything.
He doesn't have to pay a bond. He would be released on pretrial release.
He's willing to give you his exemption for the bond. That's the counteroffer.
If you want to be released on pretrial release, tell me.
What
didn't
about
do anything wrong.
Release of my own recognizances. I didn't do anything wrong.
If you want to be released on pretrial release, you need to tell me.
No, on my own recognizances.
No.
I have no record.
Okay.
Okay.
I have.
When's his next court date?
I have 2 priors. If these are incorrect, tell me. I have a
They don't have
prior disorderly conduct from 2012
and that's in federal court as well. I was trying to give information. I'm trying to give information so that the court is not going to be embarrassed later on if they listen to me and do their jobs. Otherwise, they will be embarrassed.
All right, I'm
because
putting.
this further case is in federal court.
Okay, I need for this state to check and see whether or not have you done. Have you
Gene,
checked to see if
do not pay the bond.
Now you see me leaving because I'm shining too much light. She can't address the issue. He and I are shining way too much light.
I'm telling my brother don't pay the bond because it doesn't make any sense for us to pay for something we didn't do. And she's saying that now that I can't get out on R&R and that I had to pay a bond or something. That's why I look shocked. You can see the anger in my face. It's pretty much she has no sympathy for what I'm going through. She just wants to go through her quota and get me filed into the courts and keep me in jail, take money out of my pockets and my family's pockets. But for some reason, even though I look nervous, I just was calm. I just didn't understand why it took so long for her not to understand that everything that was on this paper was a bunch of nonsense.
Is it grand theft?
I don't see it in the specifically mentioned in the statute.
Let's go outside. No, you've been disruptive in the courtroom.
What?
Has the state checked to see whether or not a bicycle is one of the enumerated objects on grand theft?
Yes, I have, Your Honor, and I do not see it.
If it's not, then this is reduced to a misdemeanor. There's no time in terms of, there's no amount in terms of the grand theft, so there's probable cause for a petty theft only.
What would that make it?
That changes the bond.
Administrator,
what's the
all this
bond,
stuff-
Your Honor?
Mr. Charlemagne, please hold on.
We do not see the bonds with the bike, specifically mentioned. However, the bike could be valued at over $300, so we would ask to reset this case for rehearing.
Oh. Okay.
Administrator, what evidence do they have?
Okay.
Administrator, what do you...
Brother had left. Now it's just pretty much me, her, and Autumn Page. And I don't know who's talking. I don't know who Autumn Page was at the time. I didn't even know it was Autumn Page because, like I said, I'm in another room. And then I'm asking her if what evidence do they have, and has the cops proven the elements? Now she's starting to read the A form to me. Like I didn't necessarily know what happened, but I just let it go along so I could just understand what my next move was going to be, because she wasn't giving me R&R. And as she stated all the information, it's starting to come to light that this doesn't make any sense. She's going to come to an aha moment, or the public defender is going to pretend to be protecting my rights by just piggybacking off of what she's reading. The public defender should have already read my affidavit to notice that what they were doing was wrong. And at the end of the day, I didn't want a public pretender or a public defender. I didn't need anyone speaking for me because I know I didn't do anything wrong. What should have happened was she should have read it, known that this was frivolous, and said, I'm R&R'ing him until we figure out more information. But she didn't want to do that because she knew by my stance and the way that I was acting that I was very, very annoyed. This went from grand theft of a bike and someone getting beat up to now her ego and her presence of authority is being challenged.
What evidence do they have? Have they proven the elements?
Mr. Charlemagne, I'm going to read the arrest affidavit to you right now. On the 22nd of May, 2015 at 9:30 at the Northeast 6th Court and 124th Street roadside. It says, while officers were conducting an apprehension unrelated to you, that you stopped your bicycle in mid-traffic, obstructed the assisting officer's ability to approach the scene, that you were ordered numerous times to place yourself at a safe distance and that you refused, that you began yelling, cursing others to stop and take notice. Upon closer inspection, it was discovered that your bicycle had been reported stolen, the bicycle that you were on March 28, 2014 in Stanford, Florida, under case number 1432909193. You were arrested and transported to TGK. He wasn't in possession of a recently stolen article, so I don't believe that there's probable cause for the theft at all.
And Your Honor, since we're only left with the disorderly conduct, we would be requesting an ROR.
Okay. State?
Excuse me, I don't know why that person's speaking for me. I never gave her authorization. I asked for R&R myself. I asked for it myself. I don't need anyone else to speak for me.
All right, she's doing a lot better job than you are in terms of helping
Administrator, Administrator, I can speak for myself, and I am not testifying. I'm asking to be released on my own recognizance due to the fact that there is no proof of any of this. The elements have not been proven.
No, because I don't believe there's any probable cause for the theft.
Well, Your Honor,
it was a bicycle that had been stolen a year and a half before in a different part of the state. I don't see any probable cause for the grand theft. So I'm finding no probable cause on the grand theft, and on the grand theft he is ROR'd.
And is Your Honor rejecting our request?
Who's speaking?
Hearing tomorrow?
Yes. Yes.
Who is speaking on my behalf?
This is where I'm confused. I thought it was the public defender speaking, but it was the state speaking, but I didn't know their name, so I'm asking for them to give it to me on the record. And before this, she had told me to be quiet, but now she's letting me speak. You can see in my facial feature that in my facial reaction that I'm very, very annoyed. I'm very tense, and I'm very aggressive manner. I'm starting to calm down a little bit. She's starting to see the writing on the wall, so she's gonna have to let me go soon. She's pretty much telling me the reason why she has probable cause is because she has a sworn paper. She wanted to say affidavit, but she knew that it wasn't a true affidavit, so she had to say paper. I'm doing my best to just listen and then have a rebuttal to whatever she's trying to preside over or do over me, because she doesn't have jurisdiction. She doesn't have jurisdiction for so many different reasons. There's no victim, there was no crime. Everything is a figment of their imagination. I didn't have a state ID at the time, driver's license or personal ID. I didn't even think I had a passport. And I never went to where the bike was stolen. So how can I steal a bike in some Connecticut, Florida when I never been there? And I bought the bike from a bike shop, a brand new $1,500 bike. And why would I be riding around in a stolen bike in front of cops? So she pretty much gave me R&R. The bailiffs were being, the correction officer was being totally disrespectful to me. And I just let them know in a very sarcastic way that I got what I want. I got what I came here for, to get out of jail, and I would be dealing with this at a later date.
I don't believe there was any witness you could bring in that would be.
Who is the state? What's their name? Could you please state their name for the record, please? I need to know who is speaking and has a claim on my rights.
All right, Mr. Charlemagne, I am RORing you on the grand theft. I don't find that there's any probable cause or any reason for you to be held. On the disorderly conduct, I'm finding, hold on.
Is the officer there, administrator?
He's not here. I'm finding that there is probable cause.
How can you find probable cause if the officer's not there?
Please don't interrupt me. I have a sworn paper, an affidavit, and I'm allowed to use that to find probable cause. I'm finding probable cause for the disorderly conduct only, and I'm releasing you on your own recognizance. You'll get a notice. It's going to go to 2115 North Ocean Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Is that where you live?
I'm using my Fifth Amendment right, administrator.
All right, that's not something that is subject to Fifth Amendment rights because it can't incriminate you. However, if you don't appear because you don't get your notice because that's not your address, then you'll end up in jail. That's the only way you can really end up in jail in this. So it's ROR on both counts.
Thank you for protecting my constitutional rights and the Sixth Amendment. I appreciate that, administrator.
Okay, come on, my man. Come on. Time to go.
It is time for me to go.
Yeah.
I got R&R.
Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is May 23rd, 2015. This is the day after I did the video of my brother getting arrested on the 23rd, obviously. This morning, I went to court, and I got there around 10:30 a.m. and pretty much everything went all right. They searched me and, took my helmet and a hairspray that I had in my bag. Said it was too dangerous to go in the courtroom with it. Again, we know that my intentions are never to be violent. It is just to state simple facts. And I don't want privileges. I want rights. Anyway, so I go and address the case number, which I'm going to state right now. The case number is, the felony is F1501069 of grand theft in third degree, statute 812, parentheses 2, parentheses C. I don't know what that means, but we all know it's not applicable to my brother or me or any human being. Police, case number 201517729, which of disorderly conduct, statute 877.03. Those were the issues that I went to go address. And yes, I did tell
the public defender not to speak because my brother didn't sign any documents giving her authority to speak on his behalf. And the bailiff came to me and told me to be quiet. I asked the bailiff if he had a claim in the matter. He said no. I suggested maybe he ought to be quiet if he didn't have a claim, you know, if he's not party to it. And I noticed the state didn't say anything. The court clerk is telling me to be quiet, is telling me to sit down and be quiet. I don't understand where these people get off telling me to do anything. I'm a taxpayer. You serve me. And I must say, I have to say this. During 10:30 to about 4 and change, whatever it was, 4:30, I literally was almost in tears watching people give up their God-given rights for privileges just because they wanted out of the hellhole of jail. It was sick, it made me sick, and I felt sorry. Sorry that they didn't know that they had rights. Anyway, the judge did not want to hear what I had to say. I did state that there was no corpus delicti, which means there wasn't a body to the crime. There was no injured party. And she claimed that there was probable cause when there wasn't. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing this video because I'm afraid that every time my brother and I go to court, we're gonna get harassed. We're gonna get, you can see in their videos that the cops come and put their hands on me after the judge asked me for my name and I told her that I was in special appearance and I asked her for her name. She didn't reply. She said she was done, that there was probable cause. She wanted my brother to sign a pre-trial release form. Once you sign any documents, you're admitting fault. My brother didn't do anything wrong. I tried to save the court further embarrassment, but they didn't want to listen. So this is going to be, I intend to go to the bike shop where we bought the bike. I intend to get a notarized affidavit from him and a video testimonial as well, and get a copy of the receipts. And get a character witness video of people that know him, and we'll see where this goes. And I am entering a counterclaim against the state of Florida, against Miami-Dade police, against everybody involved. Seeing how they don't want to take their oath seriously, they have to pay. So that way all this nonsense stops. And this video is intended for the jury. Yes, it is. Thank you very much for your time. It is November 6th, 2018.
His birthday!
freedomofthecreedom.com, like a Jew should. This is really the end to the other videos that we're making right now, which is what happened in 2015 with our arrest. And we're gonna show you what happened a few weeks after, what was it, May 22nd, 23rd, his arrest that happened in front of the police department. And then, you know, you'll basically see what's going on. You'll see why it's taking us so long. Again, thank you very much for watching. I know the video was long. And all I can say is thanks for love, appreciation, attention to details, and I can't wait for this all to be done in hopefully 2018-19, it'll be done. And again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Anything you want to say?
Pretty much it. Always, I want to thank the creator creating all this for us to understand who we are and to create our environment that we would like. It's the big man's birthday today, and I'm happy that he's happy to be doing what he wanted us to do.
I'm happy because I've got family. I'm happy because everyone is going out to vote.